Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be, do I have commitment issues? I don't know. Do you? Well, let's take a closer look, shall we? I've got an email here from a guy who broke up with his girlfriend of 7 years, I believe. And he thinks after the breakup, now all of a sudden that this is the one, and he'd commit to her forever and ever. But in my opinion, what I see in these situations is guys that stay with someone like this and they never commit. It's just simply because they're just not that into that person. But yet they're too scared, too fearful, and too weak to leave the relationship to find what they really want. Why? Because they're scared they're never going to find anybody better. That's exactly what caused me to marry my first wife. She was a great fucking girl. She was beautiful. She was a lot of fun. But she wasn't everything that I wanted. And I'm sure I wasn't everything she wanted. If you were to ask her that, all these years later, she'd probably tell you that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we really weren't right for each other. And the reason I got married to her is because I was a fucking weak bitch. I didn't know any better. I mean, I certainly didn't have anybody in my family or in my home that I could learn from or to emulate. And I was just fumbling through it. So I have a quote that I wrote, and I'm going to go through his email. And the quote says, "People tend to want what they can't have. When they are simply no longer into their lover anymore or realize they never were in the first place, they don't make the effort to make them feel loved. Eventually, when their lover leaves them, they delude themselves into believing that their former lover is the one and that they must get them back at all costs. Rejection breeds obsession. The reality is the relationship was over a long time ago, but they were simply too weak and too fearful to leave or end things out of their irrational fear that they will never find anyone better. When you really truly love someone, you will want them to be happy and loved, even if it isn't with you." Very, very true. So let's go through his email. He says, "Hey, Coach Corey, I've been watching your videos for the first time over the past couple of weeks, and I'm really enjoying your advice." Well, thanks. I'm glad you're enjoying it. He says, "Here's my story. I've been in a relationship with a woman for over 7 years. In that time, we were very good together as friends and physically, but I could never figure out why I didn't want to move ahead in the relationship. In October 2014, she basically started checking out of the relationship. Elvis has left the building. Of course, I didn't realize this as it was happening, but after I ended things in early January 2015, I've come to realize this. I basically suggested it because she seemed miserable. Her big problem was I didn't want to move forward with the relationship, and I always said it was because I wasn't ready to." And what you're going to notice, you don't see anything in here about him expressing how much he loves her and he was so great and their time together was there's nothing like that at all. He just wasn't that into her, and obviously at some point she realized that. She realized that you just weren't that into her. He says, "Yet in the months she started to check out, I found myself getting towards that point but not realizing she was making her plan to exit the relationship. So as she started to back away, he became more interested." But he doesn't mention anything about loving her, or being in love, or being crazy about her. No passion. It's one of the things that Tony Robbins always says, live with passion, at the end of all of his CDs. Where's the passion? I don't hear it. And that's the problem. There was no fucking passion. You were just kind of going along, talking yourself into it. Oh, I just have commitment issues. That's what it is. No, you just fucking weren't that into her at all, dude. And eventually she wised up. He says, "I thought nothing but that for 2 days after we were done, and I came to the obvious conclusion I've pretty much had a major fear of commitment my whole life and really haven't been able to commit to much. I asked that she come over so we could talk 2 days later. Yes, I know, panic mode. However, I didn't beg and plead. I explained why I'd put things off as I have because of my commitment issues, and explained I was aware of them and that I feel I have gotten to the point where I want to move forward with life." I want to move forward with life. You should have said, "I love you, and you know what, I'm sorry I didn't do this sooner." It's like, you're the fucking love of my life. I mean, it's been a great 7 years, and you know what? I fucked up totally. How stupid of me. I'm so glad I had these few days to think about it, but let's move forward. Let's continue on. I'm sorry I was a fucking weak bitch, but I'm ready to be the fucking man that I should have been. And this break was exactly what I needed, so thank you for that. So baby, I miss you. Come over here and kiss me. Come over and give me a little sugar. None of that happened. What does he say? I feel that I've gotten to the point where I want to move forward with life. You say anything about moving forward with her. I said I would like to start fresh if she still had feelings for me. In other words, I'd like to continue using you and giving you false hope that I'm going to fall in love with you someday. Because you know what? I don't think I might meet anybody else. And that's why I only waited 2 days and I called you. I basically talked to her for 2 hours, and it was a very open and non-hostile talk. Her response at the end was that she would think about it. That means no. When a woman says, I'll think about it, or she says maybe, it means, survey says, it means no. She leaned over on top of me and gave me a very long hug and a kiss on the cheek. Oh, that's so nice. A kiss on the cheek and a hug after 7 years. Oh, it just gives me butterflies. It gives me a thrill running up my leg. Said she was very proud of me. Then she said she probably shouldn't stay over that evening, which I agreed with. Yeah, you really made her feel like you were crazy about her, dude. I mean, come on, man. Seriously. Do you believe that? Do you think about the bullshit that was coming out of your mouth? You just missed having a warm body next to you because you're afraid you're not going to find anybody else. But she's doing you a favor at this point. She's become strong enough to say, I don't think so, dude. You're just not that into me. And I finally realized that. Good for her. Good for the fact that she, at least sounds like she was the one that had the balls to move on. I've had one texting slip, and that was 5 days later when I said, this really sucks. And she replied the next morning with, just, I'm sorry. 7 years, and she waits till the next day. I'm sorry. There's no, baby, I miss you. I'm so sorry I hurt you, and I'm ready to. I'll do whatever it takes. Let's come on, let's get together for dinner. I miss you. None of that. Just this sucks. In other words, it sucks that now I got to go out and find a new girl. What if I don't find somebody that likes me as much as you did? What will I do then? Since then, I went no contact. My logic was, as much as I am hoping we can start fresh, I needed to begin the process of getting over her. That's the first honest and realistic and integrous thing that you've said in this whole email, dude. You've been bullshitting yourself for 7 fucking years. Thank God your ex-girlfriend finally grew some stones, because obviously you didn't, and was leaving. Since then, I have continued to heal, and I am quickly approaching the 3-month no contact point. Her birthday is in 5 days, and I'm really tempted to reach out to her, but I'm not going to. You shouldn't. Let her go, dude. You've hurt her enough. Let her fucking go, and let her find the right guy for her. You're holding her back, and you're holding yourself back. So it's time to stop being a bitch and be a fucking man. And I can speak from experience, because there was a time in my life I was being a bitch like you. I just didn't do it for 7 fucking years. I think it lasted about 4 years I was with her. I don't think it's a wise move. I agree. It's not. You shouldn't contact her ever again. I was really just hoping for your feedback about this. She used to love me a lot, and that really was gone towards the end, so I'm trying not to get my hopes up too high. He still hasn't mentioned anything about his feelings or loving her at all. Why? Because he doesn't. I made excellent progress with my health since the breakup by eating a lot less, and I have gained some strength and size. I've always been a frequent to the gym, but because of poor diet, I never made any strides. Again, fear to commit to something completely. It's not that it's fear to commit to something completely. It's just you're fucking dicking around in life. You're not passionate about it. You can't give a woman what she needs in order to make her feel loved when you're not into her. If you're not happy with yourself and you're not happy with your life, if you don't love what you do for a living, you're just dicking around, and that's basically what you are. You're dicking around in your personal life, and you're dicking around with your gym membership. Maybe you're not doing something you love for a living. I don't hear anything about any kind of passionate stuff in your life. You sound like a prime candidate to book a phone session with me so I can help you figure out what your purpose and your mission is in life. Because if you don't have that right, everything else is going to be fucked in your life. You're not going to want to work out. You're not going to work very hard at your job. You're never going to really earn the kind of money that you deserve, and you're never going to have the kind of lifestyle you want. And if you're not feeling like you're banging on all cylinders and living what you were put on this earth to do, that's going to affect the quality of the woman that you're able to attract. You're going to attract women that are basically on the same vibe, the same wavelength. People that have settled, and that's basically what she did. The two of you settled with each other for 7 fucking years. And I'm happy for her that she finally realized that it sucked and she deserves something better. So you need to fucking let her go, dude. Be grateful that you had 7 years, but it's time to fucking man up and be a man and take care of what you need to take care of. I really feel I'm ready to commit to her and other things in life if she still loves me. I feel we can have a happy life together. Boy, that really sounds full of passion and love. Oh, God. What girl wouldn't love to hear that? I feel we could have a happy life. In other words, I feel I could really settle for the rest of my life with her and just be mediocre. Whoa, that's really great. And you'll have kids and you'll teach and just be as mediocre as you are. Come on, man. You need to wake the fuck up, dude. You are totally bullshitting yourself. I'm just not sure she still has that fire for me that she once showed. I'd say she doesn't. Let her go, dude. If you care about this girl, let her fucking go and find somebody who really will love her, somebody that feels that she knocks their socks off. I hope I get some feedback from you. Keep up the good work. You seem to know your shit. I do. I've been there, done that. I got the fucking t-shirt. The good news is you don't have to go through a fucking unhappy, unpleasant fucking divorce and spend a shitload of money to get out of it. I was only married for a year. But, I mean, shit, dude. You got no kids. You got nothing. You're free to find a kind of woman that's really going to make you happy and make you want to give to her and love her in the way that she deserves. And will love you back in the way that you deserve. I mean, seriously, dude, life is too short to be mediocre. I'm a peak performance coach. I'm not a mediocre performance coach. What you had sucked. I'm sorry, but that's the reality. And the reason I can say it is because I've been there. I know what it's like. I know what it feels like. And it ain't happy. You don't want to fuck somebody like that very much. You don't want to spend time with them very much. And you end up a lot of times being critical of each other. It sucks. It's not right. It's not right for her, and it's not right for you. And you'll be a hell of a lot happier. I mean, there's enough videos. I've got over 1,700 videos at this point. And there are enough of them where people have had the balls do exactly what I did in their unhappy relationship and go find somebody that really knocks their fucking socks off. Because unless you're really crazy about that person and they're really crazy about you, you're simply not going to make the effort to make that relationship spectacular. And it doesn't mean you got to be with them the rest of your life. Maybe it's spectacular for a couple, 2-3 years. Maybe you grow apart. Or maybe you're one of those few people that will spend the rest of your life and you're crazy head over heels in love with each other and you die minutes apart when you're 100 fucking years old. The bottom line is, if you want to reach your full potential, if you really want to have a great life and have great memories to look back upon, you got to better yourself. And this level of effort that you're making, I mean, come on, man, it sucks. You have no idea what love is, what passion is, until you experience the things that I talk about in my book. And that means reading it 10 to 15 times and getting out there and applying it and making your fucking life a masterpiece. It's what you deserve. And there's a girl out there that deserves to have it with you. This woman was not the right person for you. It was great for 7 years. You learned a lot from it, but it's time to get something even better. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the Products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.